What separates a great player from a game changer? It's not just stats or championships, it's the permanent mark they leave on the sport itself. Some rewrote tactics, others reshaped culture, and a few were so dominant they forced entire rulebooks to be rewritten. Stick around, because you'll hear one story of a change so dramatic it still defines the game today. Before we jump in, drop one name you think changed the game the most. Let's see if they make the list. Wilt Chamberlain stands as the clearest example in basketball. At his peak, he scored at a level never before seen, including the famous night when he put up triple digits in a single game. His size and power near the rim made it nearly impossible for defenders to compete under the old guidelines. In response, the league introduced changes that reshaped the paint, increasing the demand on big men to move with more agility and skill. His unusual approaches at the free throw line, which sought to use momentum in ways not originally envisioned, also prompted officials to update the wording of the shooting rules, closing off loopholes and reinforcing how free throws had to be taken. Chamberlain wasn't just ahead of his time, he practically forced the era itself to shift. On the football side, Lawrence Taylor redefined what it meant to play defense. Before him, offensive schemes largely assumed that linemen could hold the edge against pass rushers. Taylor's combination of speed and strength proved those assumptions shaky. He posted sack totals that ranked among the highest the game had ever seen, and one of his collisions left a franchise quarterback with a devastating career-ending injury. That moment put the spotlight on player safety in a way the NFL couldn't ignore. As a result, league conversations turned toward stricter protections for quarterbacks and adjustments to blocking techniques, leading to changes in offensive schemes that still shape the modern game. Cultural game changers didn't just influence wins and losses, they reshaped how athletes were seen by fans, media, and even entire industries. Allen Iverson's arrival in 1996 marked the beginning of one of the sharpest cultural shifts in NBA history. His clothes and accessories reflected hip-hop culture, oversized jerseys, baggy jeans, diamond chains, at a time when the league preferred polished suits and formal appearances. His cornrows and sleeves became unmistakable symbols of authenticity. The conflict wasn't just about fashion, it was about identity. That divide came to a head when the league later introduced a formal dress code, widely seen as a response to his influence. Around the same time, his blunt and defensive press conference about skipping practice turned into a defining media moment. Resistance from the league only spotlighted his authenticity, and over time, his look became mainstream. Tattoos, player-specific sneakers, and streetwear-inspired fashion are now inseparable from the NBA landscape, in no small part because Iverson refused to conform. Michael Jordan shaped culture in a different way. His reach was global. His partnership with Nike transformed footwear into a pop culture phenomenon, turning the Air Jordan line into a commercial juggernaut that made player branding central to the business of sports. Fans didn't just buy shoes, they bought into a lifestyle that mixed marketing, entertainment, and basketball into a single package. Jordan's participation in the Olympic Dream Team placed him before an international audience who embraced the game on a new scale. Projects like his feature film blurred the line between athlete and entertainer, expanding basketball's audience into households that had never cared about the NBA before. By the late 1990s, Jordan was not only the face of the league, but also the face of a sport that was rapidly establishing itself as a global language. Together, Iverson and Jordan shifted expectations about what athletes represented. Fashion, media presence, and global fandom became just as much a part of their legacies as their performances. They redefined the modern identity of the NBA and showed that influence can stretch far beyond the scoreboard. But while cultural icons changed how fans viewed the game, others transformed how the game itself was played, forcing coaches, players, and entire systems to adjust. Steph Curry in basketball and Patrick Mahomes in football are two of the clearest examples, and their impact made traditional play styles feel instantly outdated. Curry altered basketball's structure in ways no one had anticipated. Before him, the three-pointer was often treated like a bailout shot rather than a central weapon. His ability to score efficiently from distances previously unguarded stretched defenses far beyond their comfort zones. Teams could no longer rely on post-ups and mid-range sets as the backbone of their offense. To survive against his shooting, organizations began valuing spacing, mobility, and switchable defenders over sheer size. Centers were replaced or retooled as forwards, who could both stretch the floor and defend on the perimeter. Analytics departments used his success to validate what they had long predicted, that prioritizing outside shooting could yield consistent advantages. The ripple effect is clear. Today's NBA revolves around spacing the floor and defending every inch of it. Curry didn't just shoot better than anyone else. He redefined what a good shot even meant. Mahomes triggered a similar overhaul in football. Traditional quarterbacks were taught to stand in the pocket and throw with structure. Mahomes took that framework and expanded it, delivering accurate passes on the move, improvising out of chaos, and throwing from impossible arm angles. With him under center, defenses had to adapt quickly. Coordinators began favoring deeper safety looks to guard against explosive plays, forcing offenses to create new ways to match those adjustments. Teams responded by building rosters around versatile tight ends, pass-catching backs, and fluid play designs meant to stretch defenses to their limits. Mahomes showed that the modern quarterback could no longer rely only on textbook delivery. They had to create while reading coverages in real time. His style pushed the entire league toward a more dynamic version of offense. The result, across both sports, is that younger athletes now train differently from the start. The athletes we've covered didn't simply dominate within the rules, they reshaped them. From altered rulebooks to tactical revolutions and cultural shifts that still echo today, their legacies prove that individual brilliance can redirect entire sports. Young players now commonly practice skills associated with these pioneers much earlier in development, showing just how deeply their influence runs. It's clear these athletes raise the bar for what elite performance looks like. Now it's your turn. Name one athlete in the comments and explain in one sentence why they changed the game. If you liked this breakdown, like and subscribe for more sports history and lists.